Hey everyone, Jereshia Hawk here, your favorite millennial mentor and founder of the Goal Getter Group. The Goal Getter Group is a platform that helps women who work a 9-to-5 build a business on the side. We're all about helping you create more financial freedom and flexibility within your life, and really just helping you make money doing what you love. So today we're going to be chit-chatting about the 3 major reasons why you aren't making money in your side hustle and some tips that you can start implementing to change that. So as we are getting set up, I'm going to share this on all my pages as we're waiting for people to trickle in. What is wrong? I can't even get my Facebook group to work. So let's see here. But the main reason why I want to chat about this is because I think so many of us are in the beginning stages of our business, and things just sometimes don't go as we have planned, and we get discouraged. We feel like failures when stuff isn't necessarily working out or going the way that we thought it would. And I just wanted to chat with you guys about some things I've noticed in my own career path is having a side hustle, what's worked and what hasn't, and then also some tips on just really what I've noticed when it comes to my clients as to why they aren't making money and why a lot of people decide to end up working with me in the first place. So, I'm not even sure where to start, but when it comes to the 3 major reasons as to why you are not making money within your side hustle, I think the first critical reason why you're not is because you're not consistent enough. Consistency is such a huge player when it comes to you starting a business and you starting anything. Even if you're not even trying to start a business, if you're trying to lose weight or become healthier or save money, consistency is so critically important to your success, especially when it comes to building a business and you're brand new, fresh out of the gates, starting with this new idea and trying to build this new brand. So many of us are inconsistent, and that is the reason why we do not see the results that we hope for. I cringe, literally cringe every time I see somebody saying they want to start this business. They have this amazing idea, which is all great. They're going to change the world. They're going to make all this money. They're going to create this huge impact. But then they're so inconsistent with promoting their products or developing themselves or just being consistent enough to even make a plan of action on what they're actually going to do. I think consistency is what kills most people and what really prevents you from making money before you even can really get the ball rolling and before you even really get started, is the lack of consistency in just our day-to-day routine. I mean, people want to start a side hustle, but they have no sense of time management skills, or they're super inconsistent about when they even spend time on building their business. 1 week they'll spend an hour here, they go 3 months, and then they're in the same spot. Then maybe they go hard for 2 weeks and they stop again. Consistency is so important. Even if you're just working on your business every day for 30 minutes, you're going to get a tremendous amount of results from that versus if you're super inconsistent and scatterbrained and all over the place. And I think that's definitely the number one reason why so many of us aren't making money, is because we're just not consistently showing up. We're not consistently doing the work. We're not consistently being present. We're not consistently just trying to take one step further and just get one small win after one small win. We're very, very inconsistent. So I think that it's number one reason why you aren't making money is because you're just not consistent enough. You're not showing up enough. And I look back on, I guess the only time I really consider myself having a failure within my business, it was the second or third time I launched a group coaching program, and it completely flopped. Nobody signed up for it. And I was devastated. It really made me question, why am I doing this? Should I even have this business? But instead of looking at the situation woe is me, I really flipped the script and looked at why did this happen? What did I not do which caused me to have this outcome where nobody signed up, nobody paid for the program? And really, it was my lack of consistency, as well as the 2 other factors I'm going to talk to you guys about. But it's I made this product and I just assumed that people were going to sign up for it because I made it. And that's just not how it works. Like, just because you build it does not mean they will come. You have to give people a reason to come and also give them enough value to make them stay. And that's a huge shift in mindset that needs to happen. Because, we always hear just build it and they will come. Like, no. That is not how it works. We're all all of us here for the most part are very new in the game. Like, even if you've been in business for 5 years, it's still like fresh and new in the game compared to like what normal businesses have been around. And you have to develop that consistency. You have to build that trust. And you need to be consistent. Sometimes it takes like people 6 to 9 months of following me before they decide to spend $1 on anything that I offer. But because they trust me over that 6 to 9 months, because they've seen me showing up every day, like practicing the words that I preach. They've seen me every day showing up and adding value. Like, I've been consistent for long enough where it makes them say like, okay, yeah, she's serious. She's at least showing up for herself and she's committed to the idea and the brand that she's trying to build. I'm ready now to invest with her. But it takes some people like 9 months or over a year to spend to spend the first $7 with me. But that consistency piece is what's really big. And I think so many of us quit the game and pull out too soon because we lack patience around, and we're just not consistent enough. We feel, at least something I've noticed with a lot of new business owners, entrepreneurs, people who want to have side hustles or whatever the case may be, after like 3 months, if their stuff isn't making $10,000 or 6 figures, they're ready to quit. And that goes into my second point. The number 2 reason why you aren't making any money with your side hustle is because you have not been in the game long enough. Like, the mindset really needs to shift. Like, you really need to think about, as you're building a business, as a 3-year, like, bare bones. If you're not committed to at least being in the game for 3 years, I'd get out immediately. Like, I wouldn't even say it's worth your time, because I think the first year of you being in business should be all about experimentation and just figuring out who you're serving, possibly what you're going to offer, and like just testing things out, seeing what you like, what you don't like, what your audience responds to, what they don't respond to. Year 1 should be all about experimentation, like, period, in my opinion. I think year 1 should be all about just trial and error. Nothing is a failure. Everything is a learning opportunity. And that's what all year 1 should be, is just figuring out who the heck you are, what your brand even stands for. Year 2 should be, okay, you have a good idea about who you are and what you stand for. Like, how can we actually start monetizing that, creating our systems, developing our foundation? Like, how can we really have a solid ground to stand on? In year 3 is when you really should be like, execute, because you know who you serve, you know, like, how you're going to serve, and you're really just driving it home, delivering it, expanding and growing your audience. And I think that that's the number 1 reason. Well, like I said, the second reason why so many of us are not making money with our side hustles is because, 1, we lack consistency in even promoting ourselves, getting ourselves out there, educating our audience on why they should trust us and why they should invest in our products. But 2 is we have not been in the game long enough. Like, we have not been in the game long enough. And I don't know, guys. It just crushes me when I see people saying, well, I've been trying to start this business for 6 months and it's not working. Clearly, I suck at life. I'm a failure, and it's just not for me. It's like, what? How can you guys are pulling yourselves out before you've even giving yourself a chance to succeed. Like, you guys are quitting way too soon. I think it's also a good thing. Like, if you realize that if you're not in it for the long haul, if you're in it just to get quick wins and, just to flip some money real quick, like, maybe this isn't for you. There's still ways for you to do that and to make money going that career, going that path. But I don't think, it's not sustainable. It's not something that's going to last long term. It's going to be a quick fad that's going to be in and out, and it's not going to be here 5 years from now. That's not going to be your legacy. So I think that we quit too soon, and we expect results to happen way too quickly. And I understand why. Like, I get it. We constantly seeing all these Facebook ads telling us how you can make, get 10,000 subscribers in the next 30 days. We see all these ads about how to make 6 figures in 3 months. Like, we see all this stuff. So I do think the way that our advertisement game is working right now, and just how the business environment right now, everybody's an entrepreneur, everybody's having this life of freedom and flexibility and all this other stuff. I get why we have this skewed perception about what is real and what really can happen for us. Like, I get it. But we need to start opening our eyes to really what's reality and start asking more intentional questions. Because if people are saying they made 6 figures in 6 months, really question, one, how long have they been in business? How long have they been doing this? How long did it take them to make their first 6 figures in 6 months, or their 6-figure launch or whatever? I can guarantee a vast majority of them, the vast majority, have been in the game for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Period. And I mean, like, it's the rare few, the very rare lucky few who are doing it doing it in a different capacity. And if y'all know somebody who's doing that within a week being in business and it's their first time doing it, send me their information, because I'm trying to get to know their secret sauce. But that's not the norm. That's like the very rare 1% few. So I just think that we're not in the game long enough. And we have, a lot of us will start these side hustles and think that we're going to get immediate results or instant gratification. And I want to just let you guys know, starting a business is not like going and getting a job. If I go and apply for a job and get my job, I normally get a paycheck within the next 2 weeks. Instant gratification. I applied, I signed up, I showed up for 2 weeks, I get a paycheck. That does not happen when you start a business. There is no, it's just very rare for that to be we look at starting a business as, I want this instant gratification. I want this freedom. I want this flexibility. I want to be able to create my schedule based on my terms. I want to make as much money as it is that I want to make. It doesn't work like that. Like, it takes consistent effort, figuring out who you are, what you're doing, being in the game long enough, and being committed to being in the game long enough before you start seeing those results. And I think that's just a huge mindset shift that needs to happen, that, you guys we're not applying for jobs. We're not going to get a paycheck in the next 7 days just because we signed up. We're building a brand. There's such a huge difference in that. We're building a brand, and nobody knows who the heck we are. Nobody knows what the heck we're selling. Nobody knows why should I pay her over whatever else? Do I have the money to lose by investing in this person? I really don't even know who they are. They've only been around for 3 months. We need to look at it like that. And I love to use the example of Coca-Cola. They sell happiness. And the only reason they can sell something that vague as I sell happiness is because they've been in business for over 100 years and they're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They've built up their brand. They have trust. Everybody knows what Coke is. Coke can sell whatever the heck they want and pretty much market it the way they want. And we don't question it too much because they're so, my whole life I've known Coca-Cola. For the last 25, 26 years of my life, I've known Coca-Cola. So there's this, 25 years of trust built up, even if tomorrow's the first day I buy a Coca-Cola. But you guys get what I'm saying. They've been in the game for so long and established their brand, their trust, their reputation, their consistency on what you can expect when you buy their product. Regardless if I'm in Mexico or I'm in Africa or if I'm in the United States, regardless if I go to a 7-Eleven or a Olive Garden, I have a consistent expectation of what I'm going to get when I buy their product, and they deliver on that expectation every single time. So they have that established trust, reputation, and all that. Us as new businesses, we have been in the game most of the time for less than 6 months. So you can't expect somebody to treat you, I feel like that's a huge misconception and a mindset shift that we all need to have. And I can tell you that's a huge reason why you're not making money. You have not been in the game long enough. Okay? So I really think if you're looking at starting a business and you want this to be something that's longer term, something that you will really be able to build your legacy off of, something that you'll really be able to turn into something that you can quit your 9-to-5 from doing it, you need to commit to at least a 3-year commitment. And if you're not in the game for at least 3 years, reevaluate what your goals are. Because I completely think that you guys can make, an extra $1,000 a month, not being committed to it long term. Because I've done it. My first business, I was only committed to having that thing to the point where I made my student, where I could pay my tuition off. I had the business for over a year. It was 14 months I had that business. I made over $50,000. So it's totally possible. Okay? You can totally do that. But the Goal Getter group, I'm in it for the long haul. This is something I want my legacy to be. This is something I want, my kids to be able to pick back up or to be able to support long after I'm gone. So, I'm really committed to seeing if this idea works for at least 3 years before I say I'm done. But you need to make that commitment. And the third reason why I think you are not making money with your side hustle is because you are not intentional or purposeful enough. And we have unrealistic expectations, like I chatted about a little bit before, around what the turnaround is going to be. But we have to be intentional and purposeful about the actions we're taking. And so many of us have a 9-to-5 and have very limited time where we can build our business on the side. And that's why it matters so much more that you're strategic and intentional with how you leverage that time. Because you can burn yourself out so quickly because you're not getting any rewards, because you're spending time trying to figure out what to do. And you're really honestly like wasting I don't want to say wasting your time, but you're not leveraging and utilizing your time to the best that you possibly could. Because if you're just spending all these hours Googling and searching and planning and writing, but you're never actually executing and seeing if your ideas work, or if you don't have a solid plan in place, you don't even necessarily know what your goals are. So many people I know will spend 3 months like just lost in this whirlwind, and they burn themselves out and really discourage themselves from starting that business, which could have been really successful, because they didn't know what the heck they were doing. And because they didn't know what the heck they were doing, they didn't take the initiative to invest some money and some time to find and hire somebody who could teach them what to do, or, whatever the case may be. So that's very real too. And I think that's a huge reason why so many of us are not making money, is because we burn ourselves out too soon. We're not investing smart. We're not spending our time the most effectively. We get scared. There's all these fears that are bogging us down about, well, if I spend this much money, I don't have the money for that. I can't afford to invest in my business. We have got to shift our mindset around that. Like, it's not about whether or not you have the money. We all have some disposable income. I mean, like, for the vast majority of us, we have a certain amount of disposable income that we can use to better leverage our time so we can start getting results quicker, by investing in a coach, a program, education of some sort. And I think it's so funny because, like, we spend the vast majority of us are college educated. So we spent at least 4 years at an institution, probably at least $40,000 on education. But you guys, so many of us are so terrified to spend $400 on building our business. It's mind blowing to me, because it's like, I'm an engineer by trade. I went to school for 5 years to get an education so I could be qualified to get a job and become an engineer. Like, I spent probably $50,000, $60,000 on education. Why in the world would I think that I'm going to start a business and have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm going to just go at it and, not invest any money or time on getting an education, getting well-versed in it, going to somebody who is an expert so they can teach me their way so I can understand how to do it myself? We don't put the same 2 and 2 together, which I think is just really interesting on why we don't do that. Because I feel like that's, again, us not being intentional on what we're trying to build, making sure that we have the right strategies in place, making sure that we have the right expectations around what our results are going to be. So there's always a payoff. This is something I always tell my clients, especially when we're going through different tools they can implement within their business to create better systems, is there's always a trade-off. So yes, there's always a cheaper, less expensive option, but there is something you're trading off for not paying or investing the money for it. So like, I'll use the example of an email marketing service. Like, you can get MailChimp for free, but there's a huge trade-off versus if you go the MailChimp route and get that for free versus if you spend the $37 a month to get ConvertKit. Like, yes, you can do it that way, but you are going to spend more time and lose out on more money because you don't have the right system in place that you would get if you just spent the $37 a month. So that needs to be a conscious decision. And that's just like a really simple example, but I'm just saying, like, there's always a trade-off. So you guys need to understand what is the return on your investment for not investing and spending the time or investing the money to go do something versus you trying to figure it out yourself, having no direction at all. It's like saying I want to go to Africa, but I ain't got no GPS. I'm going to just try to walk and figure out how to get there. Girl, I wouldn't make it past you know, 5 miles from here before I gave up and said, screw this. Like, rather than just hiring a travel agent, getting somebody to give you a route on how to get there, booking the flight, paying for the money, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, investing. So I think those are the 3 biggest reasons why you are not making money in your side hustle and why you will continue to not make money is, 1, you lack consistency. We are not consistent with our efforts. We're not consistent. We're not showing up enough and consistently working. And it's not, that's why I advocate in everything that I do, everything that I sell, everything that I preach, everything that I teach, is that it's all about the consistent small wins. Small wins, one small win after another. That's what builds up to that big success. But that's the best way to create something that's sustainable and scalable for yourself long term, is those small wins, those baby step wins. That's best way to do it. And it helps you not get overwhelmed or like burn out, because you're not so focused on the big goal or like what the big thing is, but you're focused on just what's that next right move that I need to take. 2 is we're not in the game long enough. Okay, guys, if you've been in business for less than 2 years, honestly, if you've been in business for like less than 6 months, and you feel as if you're making all this stuff, nobody's buying it, there's probably things you're doing wrong or not doing more like the most effectively to really get the best return on what it is that you're trying to get. So be committed. And if you're not committed, reevaluate what the goal is so you can create something that's a little bit more realistic for what you're putting in. Because it cracks me up sometimes when I get people telling me, okay, you know, you have to fill out an application to work with me as a one-on-one client. And I always ask a question like, where do you want to be in the next 3 to 6 months? And people have a brand new business idea and they say they want to make $6,000 a month with their business. That's great. It's definitely doable. So I'm not trying to say that their goal is unrealistic. But I don't know how you can make $6,000. I mean, making $6,000 a month in your business means you're going to have to make some pretty hefty investments, or typically have some sort of investments to make that happen. You have to set up the right systems. You have to put in enough time. Like, you know, you have to market yourself. Probably going to require you to buy like advertisement if you're trying to make that much of a leap that quickly and nobody knows who the heck you are. Like you have to have realistic expectations and you need to be consistent. So if you want that big of a goal, that comes at a cost. And that's where we go into that 3rd reason. You have got to be intentional and purposeful with what it is that you're trying to accomplish and do for you, in order for you to start making consistent money in your business. So that's why I truly advocate on making sure that you guys have the right strategies and systems in place, because that is what will propel your idea and really allow you to start getting the results that it is that you're craving for. But we need to get over this idea that it's going to happen overnight. We need to get over this idea of, you know, I can show up when I want to show up and it'll happen. Like, we need to be consistent with the hustle. We need to be in our business every single day. I'd say another thing back to that intentional and purposeful thing, and really a tip to give all of you, is you guys have got to understand what it is that you actually want. Like, so many of us aren't making money because we don't know who we're serving. We don't even know the value that we're offering. We don't know why somebody really should hire or buy from us in the first place. Like, those are 3 critical things you need to know before anybody. If you don't even know those things for yourself, why in the heck is somebody going to trust you to give you money for a product when you can't even clearly articulate what value you're providing them, what problem you're solving for them, and why they should buy from you? I think beyond that, we really need to understand, like, what are our goals? What are we actually trying to make? Like, what's our plan? And how are we going to get there? Because, like, when people say, I want to make $6,000 a month, okay, based off of, like, do you even have any products to sell? Do you even have a place to go to collect money from people, which so many of us in this new phase don't have? It's like, we want to make money, but it's like, if I wanted to pay you right now, you don't even have an easy system set up for me to give you my money. Huge problem. Huge problem. And that all boils down to that in being intentional, being purposeful. So I really advocate on, one, if you're consistently not making money with a business and you've had a business for a while and you don't really know what's going on, one, I would go back to your plan and making sure that you have the basics understood and mapped out. So first and foremost, you guys, feel free to click the link in the title of this page to get the free how to start your business checklist. And that just walks you through some very basic 5 elements you need to think about before you even decide or as you enter into having a side hustle. Second thing I'd advocate for is download the business plan blueprint. That's also on the website. Because I don't think that you need to have some 90-page business plan document, but I think it is important for you to lay out the basics, like understanding who you're serving, understanding what you're offering, understanding what makes you unique or different in the industry than somebody else. Like, what are your core unique strengths and who are your people? Understand how you're actually going to make money with your business. Because so many of us have business ideas, but we don't know how we're going to actually generate money. That's very, very important. Also think through about what your platform is going to be. Where can somebody go to pay you? Whether that be a website or just what your system is going to look like to actually collect payments and manage all of that. Manage your clients, manage the shipping. Like, what does that whole process look like? Like, map that out. And the business plan blueprint does that for you. It gives you a really basic, simple plan that will help you get off to the next step and, you know, really work these things out. Which I think is what's missing from a lot of people I see, especially in the beginning stages, as to why they're not making money, is because they don't even know what it is they're trying to do. They don't know who they're serving. They don't know what they're even trying to sell. They don't have anywhere to send somebody to actually pay them. So check all that out. And if you guys are some of the few who are watching this, if you guys are super serious and like, no, I know I'm ready, I know I'm committed, Jay, just teach me the strategies I need to set my business up for success. I don't want to spend any more time Googling for hours, trying to puzzle piece this stuff together. I'm ready. I'm committed. I'm ready to start making, you know, $500, $1,000 in the next 30 days. Send me a DM, because I'm coming out with a new program that was definitely for you. It's not for everyone, but this is definitely for the individuals who are serious, who are committed, who are tired of playing games. They no longer want to procrastinate. They've been thinking about starting a business or trying to start a business for the last month, 3 months, the last year, and they're not making any significant progress. Hit me up, just slide in my DMs, and I will share with you a program that I'm launching, because I know it'll help you. And it's, you know, I think it's a substantial price point. I think it's very well priced for what I'm offering it at. And I can pretty much guarantee you will make that money back in the next 3 to 6 months if you show up and do the work. Like, I can guarantee that. And I don't say guarantee lightly, but I only know it because I've done it and I've taught other people and I've seen other people do it based off of what I teach. So you will make that money back in the next 3 to 6 months at the latest if you show up and do the work. If you're consistent and in it, I'm here to support you. So I'm all about how can we turn our passions into profits. I'm all about, like, guys, there's so much we're uniquely gifted with that we can make money off of. And there's so much money out there in the world for us to collect. We need to start collecting our coins. No more free. We need to be more consistent. We need to be more committed to being in the game. We need to be more intentional. We need to be more realistic with what our expectations are. And I can guarantee you will get the results if you show up and do the work. So make sure that you have a plan. Make sure that you understand who it is that you're trying to serve. Decide whether or not this is for you, if you're in the game or if you're not in the game. And if you are super serious and you're like, Jay, I'm ready, give me the blueprint. I will show up in the next 3 months. I can guarantee you will make every penny back off the investment on what you pay for the program that I offer, if you show up and do the work. Okay? Just slide in my DMs, hit me up and let me know. But yeah, I hope you guys just start shifting your mindset around that. Think through, even of those 3 things, where are you lacking and how can you improve so you can start getting better results in your business. So I'd love for you to share that actually in the comments. Tell me which one of those 3 things have you maybe not been doing the best at. Are you lacking consistency in your business? Have you not been in the game long enough? Are you not committed to the long haul? Or maybe, you just realize, like, I need to stop being so hard on myself. I've only been doing this for 2 months. Or 3, have you not been intentional or purposeful enough with your actions, and how can you change that? Or let me know what you need help with. I'd love to chat through with that with you guys as well. So check all that stuff out. Like I said, either click the link in my description to get the free checklist, go download and get the business plan blueprint so you can have your 1-year game plan mapped out for your business. And if you're super, super serious, slide on up in my DMs and I'll let you guys know about the program I have coming out here soon. So yeah. I'm all about you guys collecting your coins and being more efficient, creating better strategies, The Goal Getter group is here for you to support you and help you. Lean on us. We're here for you, and I want to see you guys win. So keep moving that needle. Remember what Jereshia said, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.